All right, Michael is back, and no more calm before the storm because it's just pretty much the storm is it's coming.
It's here.
It's going to be here all day. We'll deal with it. We'll move on to tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that this is kind of like get over the hump, right? Because the rest of the week looks much nicer, and it looks like we could even keep the sunshine around into the weekend.
Well, see, now you tell me something like that, and I'll forgive you for today.
Yeah, so we just got to get through today. And right now, you can actually clearly see where the colder air has settled in. 32 degrees, Syracuse, New York. 33, Scranton, Pennsylvania. 33, Albany, New York, versus 49, New Haven, Connecticut. 44 in Boston, Massachusetts. 42 here in Portland, Maine, 41 in Bangor. So a big split in temperatures this morning. The warm side of the storm well above freezing. The cold side certainly cold enough to support some snow. Wind gusts have been picking up over the last several hours. Gusts right now, Concord, New Hampshire at 30 miles an hour, 23 in Sanford, 28 in Portland, 25 in Rangeley. And I do expect wind gusts to pick up over the next several hours. The strongest are actually likely to happen this morning. And some areas down east could see gusts between 50 and 60 miles an hour once the storm starts to settle in closer to us here in Maine. We've got some snow falling right now. I think some of this is likely reaching the ground at this point in time. From Jackman back toward Coos County, New Hampshire, near Berlin and Jefferson. And then south is where the rain snow line is, near the New Hampshire Lakes region is where that changeover happens, with some heavy rain near Manchester, New Hampshire, starting to move into Kittery, Maine, close to Elliott and the Berwicks, and that will just keep settling in along the coastline here over the next several hours. The storm progression is going to be straight off to the east here, and take a look at just how much heavy rain is just offshore at this point in time. The Boston radar picking that up pretty nicely. Again, I think that we'll likely see our heaviest rain over the next several hours. By 6 o'clock this morning, we're talking about rain building into Waterville, Augusta, Lewiston, with the heaviest ongoing across Cumberland and York counties. The rain snow line is going to be right around the Freiburg area, so essentially this is going to be elevation driven, with the foothills dealing with some heavy wet snow at this point in time, with even heavier wet snow falling in the mountains. Showers begin in Bangor right around 7 o'clock this morning. Heavy rain starts to fall down east between about 7 and 9 as rain actually starts to taper across western Maine. Notice that northern areas are still going to be near or below freezing, so we likely will still see some snow falling from Rangeley over to Greenville, the Central Highland into the Katahdin region, with the rain snow line across eastern Maine set up right near Route 6. I think north of Route 6 is going to be that cutoff point, but eventually the warmer air does win out everywhere. By 1 o'clock, we still have some rain showers ongoing, but not nearly as heavy as what we're dealing with this morning. And we actually end up in what we call the dry slot of this storm later on this afternoon and evening. Sunshine could develop, helping to push temperatures closer to 50 degrees, so the evening itself doesn't look too bad. Overnight tonight, we clear things back out, and we've got nicer weather on the way for the remainder of the week. I've cut back on snow totals here just a bit because I think the warmer air is going to push north of Bangor pretty quickly. Less than an inch for this area highlighted in white. This is going to include most of the foothills. We've got 1 to 3 inches for some parts of the Allagash down into western Maine, with 3+ inches I'm highlighting between parts of Franklin, Oxford, and Coos counties. Higher elevations, again, likely see higher accumulations. But I think the bigger story here is going to be the wind. Check this out. Wind gusts 50 to 60 miles an hour for the mid-coast and the coastline down east. Gusts above 40 miles an hour for Portland, Bangor, and Augusta. Also expecting gusts above 40 miles an hour in the mountains, and rain totals will likely end up over 1.5 inches for areas down east near the Penobscot Bay, with 1 to 1.5 inches across the I-95 corridor. North of that is where we see just a little bit less accumulation. Once the storm starts to move out here, though, not looking too bad at all. High pressure settles in for tomorrow into Thursday, and this week frontal system crosses on Thursday, and that is going to bring our next threat for some clouds. But all in all, I don't really see big issues there. Seas certainly expected to grow as we get into the afternoon today. Gale warnings already in effect. Likely dealing with some splashover and beach erosion this morning. The 7-day forecast inland calls for a cooler day on Wednesday and a bit breezy still. Mostly sunny by Friday. Saturday is looking good, about 55 to 60 degrees, just a little bit warmer at the coastline. And then we watch another backdoor cold front for Sunday. If we can keep that away from us, we could be talking about yet another day in the 60s for Sunday. Right now, I'm saying that Saturday is kind of the pick of the weekend. 60 and sunny is pretty hard to beat this time of year.
That is a true story. But if we can build some defense here for Sunday, keep that thing out, boom, two weekend days.
Could be a perfect weekend by April standards.
All right, then we will forgive you for today.
Perfect.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.